Hello, and welcome to my presentation for California Tiny Homes LEED Certification Requirement Lifecycle Management. My name is Matthew Easker. I'm the business analyst for this project. For the first portion of this process, we're going to be looking at trace requirements. So we're going to be looking at all of our requirements, new and old, and seeing how they relate to each other and the process in which we're going to pull them all together. So at the beginning of this project, this new sprint, we had the requirement come around of we possibly want to market our product more towards a either eco-friendly user or a tech-savvy user. So to do that, we started out with a requirements matrix to get a better understanding of where our current solutions from our previous sprint align with each other on this sprint. So we took our solar option, our water option, our windows and our appliances and the dual flush toilets and looked at them against the other requirements that we had listed in order to get a better understanding of where they lie in this process. And through that matrix and looking at that, solar really seems to stand out. It hits all the boxes in the checklist, and a lot of the other requirements hit a lot of the boxes, but they don't seem to hit every single one. Maintaining requirements, we're going to do a lot of research, and we did a lot of research on the requirements to maintain their accuracy throughout the course of this sprint. And we were really looking at the either eco-friendly or the tech-savvy. And according to HSH.com, it ranks the solar and the Energy Star appliances extremely high amongst what new homeowners want in their houses that they're buying or building. So I think that's a very important thing to look at during this requirements process is what users are currently buying for their products or for their houses. And the top requirements that we wanted to look at were the LEED certifiable and green certifiable. That's the reason that we started this project out. So we want to make sure that we're maintaining that requirement through the course of this sprint. Now, prioritizing our requirements, we looked at a lot of different factors like cost, availability, ease of implementation, and what stood out is that the solar is going to be a really easy implementation. Water, not so much, but the availability is very high. Windows, appliances, and dual flush toilets are all cheap, available, and easily implemented. However, they don't align with the rest of our, not our scope, but the prioritization scope as far as being LEED certifiable and being green certifiable on their own. As we mentioned in the previous sprint, there is a 40 credit process in order to get LEED certifiable, and those options just don't make it that way. Also, the toilets, windows, and Energy Star appliances, rather, they are all below the 10% cost, but like I said, on their own, they're not certifiable. The solar is roughly right around the 10% cost, and the water reservoir is right around the 10%, maybe over, depending on the size of the unit. So that's something that we're going to have to do more research on. And as far as eco-friendly or tech-savvy, in order to achieve our accreditation goals, I think that eco-friendly is the way to go for this, with maybe a touch of tech-savvy. And I'll reflect on that more in detail in an upcoming slide. So the assess requirement changes. The top consumer picks, according to HSH website, solar is at 60% of users want to see some kind of solar in their unit. Water reservoir or a waterless heater is about 58%, so roughly the same. Windows, appliances, and dual flush toilets are all at that 80% or above. Solar beats out water in this case. The top 3 items that consumers want are not LEED certifiable on their own. So that leaves us two options that are right around our budget of 10%. And with those two options, maybe there's wiggle room for one of the other options as well, but we'll also have to dive into that more as time goes on. For the approved requirements, we had a workshop with all of the team members and as many stakeholders as we could possibly get. We agreed upon the eco-friendly approach with some technology being targeted for our end users. There was some pushback on the eco-friendly user approach. There was quite a few people that did want some more technology, but we did remind them, and we all came to a consensus that the initial scope of this project was to become LEED certifiable and green, and the entire team agreed upon us going towards more of a eco-friendly user. That concludes my presentation for California Tiny Homes LEED certification. Thank you.